Well, my head's glowing.
You're live.
Yeah, but my head looks like it's yellow. Yeah, turn down a little
Okay.
bit.
We're gonna be, well, we can't.
Oh, we can't dim it at all?
Yeah, that's
Oh, okay.
probably something more.
Well, are we live? Are we
Yep,
set?
we're live.
And we've been live for a while?
No, just
Okay.
a few seconds.
So I don't look too crazy then.
Yeah.
Because I have to look like I know what's going on. Well, good morning. Good afternoon, everyone. Today is May the 17th. This is our Facebook Live session. We're going to do one today at 12 noon. And then I'll be back again with Sarah and Julie at 6 o'clock this evening for our second session. So I know people have different schedules and things going on. And so if you're able to tune in, great. And if you're not, maybe the next time you're able to do that, that'd be fantastic. Or later this evening if time permits. So one of the reasons that we do these chats is to be able to address questions that you might have directly, right? That you can write in any question you have. I'm pretty open. I try to be as open and transparent. That's one of the reasons we do these conversations. The only thing, I don't want to jeopardize any case. If I have the answer, I'll give it to you. If I don't know the answer, I'll tell you. Be honest with you that I don't know, but I'll find out for you. And then sometimes we have to return calls or ask people to provide a number, and we'll return a call to provide you that information. I just want to make sure you get it. So as questions come in, the screen will roll. I will do my very, very best to stay up to date, to try to get every question. If I miss some, it is not on purpose. Sometimes I may start talking too long, or post will come in and it makes the screen jump. So if I miss one, and we'll try to go back. Julie's helping me out today. If I'll try to go back and pick up on it. So just bear with me. But really, it's just my time to interact with the community and have some good conversation. Hopefully, if questions are slow coming in, then I'll talk a little bit about. I want to make sure I share with you kind of our crime data, where we're at, things that are going on the last couple of weeks, where we're at today, and then kind of what we have planned for the future as we get ready. My gosh, I cannot believe it is mid-May. We're getting ready to start the summer in like 2 weeks. Graduation's just around the corner. A lot of things coming up. So. So I just want to have an interactive session and do the best I can to be open and transparent and address concerns, issues, or if you just want to have a conversation, that's great too. So, Krista, thank you so much. Thanks for being here. I'm always worried about the first post, right, that comes in. Hey, we can hear you and you're on. So thank you. If there's any, and by the way, as we're going through, if we have any problems with sound or if the screen skips, please let us know. We'll try to address it. I'm not allowed to touch anything. I'm not allowed to touch nothing. So that's why I got Julie and Sarah here to make sure I don't mess anything up. But Chris, it's good to have you. Thank you. Robin, it's good to have you here. Thank you. It's good to see you. Carrie Cox, Carrie, thank you so much. Again, I appreciate all you do, the help that you give us. We have another Use of Force Review Board coming up, so we're going to be reaching out to you again. Mr. Barnes, great day to you, my friend. I hope all is well. Hope you're doing well and getting ready to eat. Hopefully, everyone's enjoying a little bit of this warmer weather. It's like floods everywhere, right? Every time I step out of the house over the weekend, we had these several events. I think we had 5 or 6 events that we were at this weekend on Saturday, and I just hear like puddles every time I step. Like, what is going on? But some good weather. We got hit pretty hard with rain. I had a good event yesterday morning. We'll talk about that. And then it was a beautiful, beautiful evening last night. So I appreciate that. So where we're at right now, we have 9 homicides this year compared to 10 the same time last year. Of the 9, 5 are domestic related that happened behind closed doors. 5 are domestic related, and the other 4 are individuals who knew one another. Of the 9, if my memory serves me correctly, we have 5, I believe, that have been cleared already, and 2 that have very, very strong leads. So they're doing well with the clearances. Now look, one death is too many, and I should have prefaced this. So I should have prefaced this. Rhea, it's good to see you. Thank you. Thanks for being here. Aren't you supposed to be in class right now? Aren't you supposed to be in class, Rhea? And Miss Whalen, I'm glad you're here. And I got your message. I'm going to do a little session here shortly. But I want to preface this. I do look at crime numbers and data. We need to be evidence-based, data-driven, because I need to speak factual to our residents in our community to make sure that you understand. I'll go to a meeting and ask someone, what do you think our crime is? What do you think our homicides are? How many and I get these crazy numbers, right? But that's what perception. So I want to, oh, we didn't know, Chief. We didn't know that we only had that many. We didn't know that that was the most our city's ever had, ever. We've never reached that number. But so I think it's just trying to get out information. We struggle sometimes of how to get out more, but I think it's got to be kind of both, right? That the community wants to know and ask those questions. And speaking of that, we had been having some problems with some data. We had gone to a new system, and some people, hey, where's the crime posted at? Where's the crime posted at? So I want to tell you that the open data portal for crime was just fixed, I believe, yesterday afternoon, and it's up and running. Julie, am I correct? Sarah, am I correct? It's up and running today, so it is back on the system. You can see that. Julie may do some crazy things with posting on here, but it is back up and running, so we can look at that. But we're doing really well in our violent crime. We're doing good in our property crime, except larcenies. Larcenies are up. Some of that is because some businesses were closed the last 2 years and they're open. And when I say larcenies, that's primarily our shoplifting and theft. We're above the national average on our clearance rates, meaning arrests that are being made. But shopliftings that we see come from our businesses, our mall items there, convenience stores. That's where ABC stores. And I will say that there's a lot of those that are cleared by arrest, but we still capture that category. So crime is an offense occurs. Clearance rates is have we made an arrest. And a conviction rate is convicted in court. So in court, it's a judge, Commonwealth attorney, police department, and defense attorney, right? Crime is the individual, suspect, victim, and the arrest is, or clearance rate of that crime is police, offender, and then conviction rate, of course, is the judicial systems, right? So 3 separate sides there. So just sharing that with you. Can you scroll up, man? Let me see Anna's post. I missed hers.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, Chiefs. Want to have a good session? I have had a great morning, and I'll tell you, look, things go up and down, but I think we all got to take a step back and remember we are blessed. I am humbled and blessed to work in this city. This is a fantastic city. Support we have and a working relationship with our pastors, our community, our city council, our mayor, our city manager, assistant city managers, the men and women who work in this department, both sworn and civilian. It is a great place to live, work, and raise a family, right? Our school system, I'll tell you, we are blessed in this city. We have our issues and problems and challenges just like anywhere else. But I think what sets us a difference is this is a family atmosphere. And that's how I try to run this department, like a family. We don't always agree, but when we move forward to address crime or issues in the community, and we remember that the most important thing is value of other people, I think we're moving in the right direction. I think that's a recipe for success. Wait, recipe, equation, recipe.
Equation for success.
Equation for success.
Yeah.
I think that fits. But it's a good thing, right? That whatever we do, remember, we're all human, right? That goes for police department too. We make mistakes. We do not always get it right. But to try to own up to that and admit that and be forthcoming, I think that's important. So as we go forward, that's the way I want this to. That is a family-oriented, compassionate police department that cares about our city. Individuals who are out here committing crime and want to take advantage of other people, we're not going to tolerate that. We have structured this department to be responsive in those areas, as well as being proactive to try to reduce that. We're making investments in technology and training and working with our communities, neighborhood watch organizations to address those things. But I also think it's also important that we're interacting with our community and our youth. It's the best commodity we have. And that, I believe that is a service-oriented, family-oriented police department. Rhea, do I remember you? Yes, of course. Your voice carries, Rhea. Of course I remember you. You're one of the best young adult police commissioners we have. Well, you better be paying attention in class. Right. I have a disturbing report on one of your officers. He handled a situation inappropriately and with discrimination. I am surprised because I've been praising MPD. Well, Roderick, if you will tell me a little bit about the situation, I don't know if it dealt with you or someone else, and sometimes it can be individuals' perception. There's some things by laws we have to do. So I don't know the situation, but if you can give me, if you want to shoot me a number that I can reach you at, I'll be glad to call and talk to you. If you have a disturbing report, so I don't know if that means you observed it or someone told you, but just remember, you have to be open. And when I get a complaint, and we do get those. But when I get a complaint, I've got to look at the citizens, their version, the officer's version, and most often there's a body-worn camera that kind of fills in the gap. So, yeah, it's a 472 man department. We're not going to get it right, but I have to look at everything totality. So if you heard something or if you witnessed something, please let me know and we can talk about it and address it accordingly. Okay? But I appreciate you, my friend, and that means a lot. I greatly respect you. Teresa, Teresa, thank you. Thanks for allowing me to be here and work in this city. I am a man of faith. I fear God, and I am very humbled and very, very thankful to be allowed to work in this city. I think this is a fantastic department. I've said before that we make mistakes. I think overall we do a very good job. When I look at our clearance rates, when I look at comments that I get from citizens, and those things are important. So, but I'm not naive to think that I can tell you I make mistakes too. So it's about what can we do? What can we do to get better? Before we go any further, there's a friend of mine I got to say hello to. So, JoJo, if you're watching, I understand that you are 5 years old, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 years old, and that you got to interact with some officers at Mission Barbecue. And I understand, if I have my story right, I understand that somebody got a dessert, peach cobbler. Am I correct? Somebody got some peach cobbler delivered to them from an officer. So, JoJo, to you, I had a really good conversation with your grandmother today. And man, she is like so proud of you. She talked about how cool you are and how smart you are and how many questions you ask. So I am telling you, I'm inviting you, JoJo, I'm inviting you and your family to our police memorial. It was something I wanted to talk about today. But our police memorial is on Monday, this coming Monday, May 23rd at 6:30, Temple Baptist Church on Harpersville Road. JoJo, I would love to see you. I would love to come talk to you and maybe get a high five from you, but I'd like to invite you and your family to be our guests. There'll be some food afterward, but don't just come for the food, right? But it's our police memorial. But I heard that story about you and some officers at Mission Barbecue, and I got to get the real story behind this peach cobbler. But, buddy, I will tell you, know this, that you're important to me. You matter to me. And that police officers care about you. And this chief cares about you. So I appreciate a little bit about the story. Maybe you can tell me the rest of it. But I hope you have a great day. And I hope to see you Monday. It would really mean a lot to me. And I hope you're doing well. And I wish your family the best, too. So, yeah, so I just wanted to say hi to my friend. I got to talk to some family members earlier, and if you text me, ma'am, if you text me and let me know that he got to see me, I would appreciate it. But JoJo, I hope to see you soon, my friend. I'm waving to you. I don't know if you're waving back, but I'm waving to you, and I hope you have a great day, buddy. You take care. Ray, what is the appropriate age to carry a knife with the restrictions in Newport News? So, Ray, are you talking like a little pocket knife, or are you talking like machete or something like that? Give me a little bit about what size we're talking about. Krista, the individual we spoke about a couple months ago is coming up for the court at the end of the month. Let's hope the judicial system will order rehab. Thank you all for the job you did getting. Well, Krista, I appreciate that. Yeah, I think we'll wait and see what happens with the court. I have faith that the right thing will happen, and yeah, so I please keep me posted, and I look forward to hearing about it. So yeah, don't keep me posted, Krista. Okay, Miss Parker. So I do see his face, and so it was peach cobbler. I got that right. Okay, peach cobbler. I know I didn't get any, but I'm glad that he did. So I hope he got to see me. I hope he smiled a little bit. But I really, really hope to see him and you all at our memorial service. I'd love you to be our guest there. And yeah, I think that's really cool. Sometimes people have a perception and then they see another side, and that's important. So I appreciate you taking the time to allow him to spend a little bit of time with me. Thank you for that. And Ms. Parker, I should tell you before I go on, I heard a little bit about your story, and I want to thank you for your service, not only to this community, but to this nation in the military. I appreciate what you did and the sacrifices you made. And I will tell you, your daughter and grandson are very blessed. Faith, absolutely a family atmosphere, Chief. There, where is the Mountain Dew backdrops? You know, Faith, do you not have faith in me? Faith in me. Faith, do you not have faith in me? Do you think that I would sit down in one of these sessions and talk with our community together and not have a Diet Mountain Dew? That I cannot believe that you question me, Faith. A friend of mine told me the other day, matter of fact, earlier today, that they were going to the grocery store and stopped to get a Diet Mountain Dew. I just think that's important. So Stephanie, he asked me, is he really talking to him? So Stephanie, if you're still watching, Jojo, if you're watching the screen, I took a few minutes and I was talking directly to you. So I'm pulling on my ear, telling you that I'm talking directly to you, buddy. And I hope that I see you and your family at our police memorial service. You matter to me. I care about you. This police department cares about you, right? And that's apparently why you got the peach cobbler and I didn't. So I hope to see you soon. Tom, keep up the great work, Chief. You're doing it. Tom, I appreciate that. I'm trying every day. You know, as comments from citizens, and you know, whether it's a positive or negative, but when citizens take the time to reach out, and that's why when Mr. Barnes tells me he had a bad interaction or whatever it might be, I respect him, right? Because we have good conversations, and I just don't want to hear about all the good things. Let's have open conversations. I greatly respect him. I hope he feels the same, and that whatever the issue is or circumstance is. So here's where you have to be careful. I am not going to judge a community by an act of violence that occurs. I'm not going to. We don't profile and judge an individual or judge a circumstance. But well, this individual did that, so this organization. I would ask that we look at the acts of the individual and address them. We can't ever paint with a broad brush, right? That neighborhood X has had a robbery or an assault, so neighborhood X is all bad. No, the individual who committed the robbery and assault is the issue, not the neighborhood, right? And in the police department, if an officer does something wrong, let's address the behavior or the actions of that officer. It's not, can't paint a broad brush and say, well, because this officer did this, the department. So, you know, that's just, I think we have to look at the acts and the individual. Now, if there's a continued pattern, then yeah, there's probably an issue. But, you know, if there's 500 situations and 2 or 3 go wrong, now we should try to fix the 2 or 3. But I want to be very, very careful that we don't paint a broad brush and say, well, the whole thing is wrong because of these situations. So, but I greatly respect Mr. Barnes. He's a friend of mine, and I look forward to having a conversation with him. Sarah, any way we can have more of a presence on Atkinson Boulevard, people speeding? Sarah, I will tell you that's coming. Bear with me a little bit. We're trying to address some of the speeding, but I will tell you we have got, so the department is 472 people. That's what we're authorized to have. We're about 60 officers short on the street, but I have them in the academy. So they're here, right? Living, breathing bodies. They're getting a paycheck. I count them as staffing, but they're in the academy. I have one class of 27, and I have another class of 25. So when they graduate, one class graduates in August, and one class graduates in October. So we're going to be bringing our traffic division back to focus on areas of speeding. And you're very accurate. You're locked in because Atkinson is an area where we get some calls for speeding. But very, very soon, the next couple of months, I hope to have our traffic division up and running, that we can focus. I can put 4, 5, 6 officers at a location to address it. That was very beneficial when we had that before. But because of some of the shortages, I had to put the traffic division in to fill some patrol vacancies, but that's coming back. Our recruiting division is doing an outstanding job. We've got, like I said, about 55 officers in our training academy. One class graduates in August of 27, another class graduates of 24 in October. And we're starting to hire for a new class that will start in August, so it'll graduate like January, February. So it's coming, and I know that's a place. We will send that to the precinct captain, but I will have a more dedicated presence as soon as these academies graduate. That's a great question. Thank you. He was waving back. Very good. That's perfect, Stephanie. I can't wait to see you guys. Ray, pocket knives are okay. We don't have any issues there. A machete, yeah, you don't want to be carrying that anywhere, my friend. That's not a good thing. That's a good question, though. Well, good. I'm glad he's excited. That's good. He should be. That's awesome. I can't wait for you guys to show up. Stephanie, thank you. Thank you for reaching out. And I know some concerns you had, and I felt that. And Miss Whalen shared with me. She saw the post and shared it with me. That's why I called you today, and that's important, and I appreciate that. Thank you. Sarah, I also had a friend bullied in dispatch, but she was let go. They told her she cannot. Well, we're not going to talk about personnel issues here. I can tell you some of that. We're not going to do that. But I appreciate you sharing it with me, Sarah. But probably can't walk that road with you. There's some of those things that just aren't accurate. Right, I totally agree. I'll talk to you. Hey, Roderick, thank you, my friend. I hope you didn't mind me sharing our friendship and relationship. But I do have the utmost respect for you, and I appreciate that. It means a lot. Are being jumped, do you have the right to use lethal force? Ray, so you have the right to protect yourself, but the force has got to match the aggression. So if somebody comes up and yells at you, you don't have the right to assault them, right? If you can walk away. But if someone is assaulting you and putting their hands, you have the right to defend yourself. But it should match the escalation or the amount of force used against you. Okay? Erica, how are you? You are such a, oh, get out of here. I miss you guys too. Hope you're being safe down there. Stay out of trouble, Erica, right? But hope all is well. And appreciate you chiming in. Oh, he's smiling. Oh, you're killing it. Now you're getting me all, Stephanie, you're getting me all choked up. Stephanie, thank you. I appreciate that. Be careful with the diet stuff. It's not, Roger, you've been telling me that for a while. Look, I feel good because I don't drink coffee, but I do. A friend of mine, I want to send a shout out to her too. She's getting some treatment at the hospital. She's a big Diet Pepsi drinker. I'm a Diet Mountain Dew guy myself, but I hear you. I hear you. David, hey Chief, I tip my hat regularly to Mountain Dew to you and all the members during Memorial Day. It's good without saying those most of the line domestic leader. David, I appreciate that, man. It means a lot. I appreciate it, buddy. Brian. Well, Brian, I'll tell you, I feel like I'm the one that's fortunate. Like I said, I grew up in Cincinnati, Ohio. I did 25 years in the Richmond Police Department, and by the grace of God, here in Newport News, I am so blessed and so thankful. This is a great city, great opportunity. Look, people. I don't think that people are going to be judged by situations or mistakes. I think they're going to be judged by how they respond to them when they happen. And again, it is my hope that individuals, one, that live in our communities, or two, that want to get into law enforcement, that they look at this department as a family-oriented organization that cares about its employees, sworn and civilian both. Does that mean that 472 officers are always happy? Absolutely not. I don't know if one day you could find 472 of us all happy, right? That's just who we are. Or civilians? Probably not. I don't know how many jobs you would find that in. Or that we do everything to make every citizen in this community happy. But I think you have to look, the next layer is the intent there to try to serve and be fair and make it a great place to work and service oriented. And I will tell you that commitment is. We meet every Monday and every Thursday to address those issues and how are we doing? What can we do better? Technology, better training, bringing in quality applicants, holding on to the talent that we have. I think that's important. Reevaluating ourselves, having citizens on our review boards, having citizens on our promotional processes, partnering and creating a young adult police commissioner program that's a freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior from every high school, and listening to their ideas and thoughts. If you saw Rhea on here or some of the posts earlier, that's from one of our adult commissioners. So, young adult police commissioner. So it's important. Nikki. Right here, Nikki. Right here. Look, there you go. Annette, good afternoon, Chief. Yes, Chief Drew, please do something with the, yep. I promise you, we're working on it, but I will also promise you that I have more resources coming. I just need those classes to graduate. Any police department is always going to focus number one priority on violent crime. I've got to make sure that we're focusing on that and answering those calls for service. And I get it. I don't want to be responding to a traffic fatality and an accident. I get that. But sometimes to address speeding, if we put an officer there today and 3 days later they're speeding's back again, there's got to be a concerted effort. And that's why we created the traffic division a couple years ago. But I've had to put them in patrol to fill some gaps. So when people dial 911, we're responding under that 3-minute mark that I want. That's our goal. But we will have that traffic division back. I'd look to have it back when these classes graduate. But we're working on it. But there is bigger help coming. I will have a bigger resource very, very soon. In every residential road, no one goes the speed limit. No one goes the speed limit. Okay. Starting to be an issue on Madison. I will tell you, it's funny. And I shouldn't say funny, but the number one complaint I get right now from the city is from residents, right? Community is speeding. It's not shootings, it's not robberies, it's not homes being broken, it's speeding. So that tells me that there is a need for that division. That's why we created it a couple years ago, and I want to get it back up and running. But I've got to make sure that we've got the resources to do it. But it is extremely important to have that in our organization, and it's my commitment to do it. So Christine, I'm reading your. So Christine, I will tell you, this is the city is 26 miles, almost 30 miles long, and there are 186,000 citizens in our city. There are 472 police officers, and they can't work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And we can't be everywhere. That's why we are call oriented, and really the essence of police work is to respond to situations that happen. We try to do more and more to be on the proactive side. Now my goal was to grow the department. When I got here, we were about 445, 448. I believe this department should be 500 people, 500 officers. But even then, we're not going to be everywhere. And what we can't do is I don't want to have an occupying force. So I can't put officers in one location and they stay there, right? So we have to kind of look at what is the problem, what is the situation, what's causing some of those issues, and try to address it. And then we control it and spot check it. But we've got to, sometimes people don't call us until situations are out of control and there's a problem. So we encourage, right? There's only 472 police officers in the city. There's 186,000 citizens. If a quarter of those citizens are adults, 25%, right? If they would call us when they see things or they hear things, that we can get on the front end before something happens. That is the way to police the city, right? So it's not, it's like the individuals talking about speeding, right? They're letting me know that Atkinson Drive is a problem. So I don't want to wait till there's a traffic accident there that, hey, we got to put some resources there. I know that's an area that I want to focus on. So it kind of has to go both ways. I can pass that on to the precinct captain of that area. But I just want to be open and transparent. I'm unable to guarantee an officer to be there for an extended amount of time because we are driven by that radio traffic, right? By citizens calling in our city. So we've got to, it goes to the essence of community policing, right? That we have got to be responsive and work with our community. What is the real issue that's going on there? Is it an individual? Is it a time of day? Is it a particular day of the week? Is there something that's contributing to it? What is the underlying factor as opposed to there's a problem here, we need an officer here. Well, what is the problem? When's it occurring? How's it occurring? Why is it occurring? And try to determine that and work together. That's it, but I hope that. Roderick, thank you, my friend. Get the similarities without dealing with the hit and all the people that hang out there. All right, Nikki, thank you. Roderick, tell me to exercise and eat right. I'm working on it, my friend. Maria, boy, God bless you. Maria, thank you. Father, thank you to the department for continuing to provide police escort services for funerals. Many jurisdictions have stopped. It is a critical way to honor those who have died and support their families during the difficult day. Our church greatly appreciate it, and the officers are professional and kind. Father Beeman, I thank you. We had to make some adjustments to the escorts. I do think it is a service we should provide, but we had to make some adjustments on some cost and using officers who are off duty, so we're not pulling officers from the street. But I appreciate that. And yeah, we never had the intent of getting away from it altogether. I wouldn't do that. But I was trying to find a better way that I'm not pulling officers who are patrolling neighborhoods away to do those escorts, that we're using officers in an off-duty capacity or secondary capacity to do that. So I agree with you. Let's scroll down a little bit.
Yeah.
Understandable thing. On that, no, and I'll tell you, you're very much locked in, and I appreciate you bringing it to my attention. Absolutely. Scroll down a little bit. Let me see, Nikki. In my neighborhood, I put in a sign in my yard, slow down. Nikki, that's a great idea. You know, I've seen several. I've seen some like the little. I think they're. Gosh, I'm glad. I think they're like little turtles that say like kids playing slow down. I've seen some of those. But I'm not. I think that's what they are. But yeah, no, that's. And look, we take those. What happens is when that traffic division's up and running, I can send the traffic complaints to the precinct captain, but I also send them to our traffic division, who that is their focus. Areas of high accidents, areas of speeding, areas of concern. But being transparent, again, when neighborhoods complain about speeding, when we set up and do, hey, we're going to put a division here or a unit here for 3 or 4 or 5 days, the individuals who usually get the traffic tickets are the people who live in that community. And just being honest with you, just sharing with you. So sometimes like those little signs, children playing slow down, that may be really good. Some signage out there. Speed trailers are another thing that we can use, kind of a force multiplier. One of the posts earlier talked about service and sacrifice. And I wanted to share with you this police week that we're in. It's almost been 2 weeks now. Last week you saw the National Memorial up in D.C., where all the officers, police officers who have given their life in the line of duty are ingrained, etched on a marble wall, a concrete wall up in our nation's capital. In our state capital, they're also, right, just for the individuals, officers in the state of Virginia. And then we have our own memorial here around City Hall with police and fire and officers who've given their life. This week, different police departments, and a few last week, have had their yearly memorial service. Last week I was in Portsmouth. They had a great service there. Hamptons was yesterday. I think I'm going to Suffolk tomorrow and Norfolk the following day. And that's why I was telling my friend Jojo, I was telling him that our service is set for Monday of next week, the 23rd, at 6:30 at Temple Baptist Church. Now, we have lost 13 individuals in the line of duty serving the citizens of Newport News in our community. And we had gone 26 years before we had lost an officer. And then in 2020, Officer Thine, her life was taken tragically as a result of a traffic stop, drug complaint, and investigation. And our city, really bonded together as we're still healing from that, but to get through those months after her death. And the funeral up in New England area, and then our memorial service here brought officers from all over the country. And as her name has been placed and etched on memorials, right? And there's a beautiful picture of her, a portrait of her in our lobby, of all the officers who've given their lives. And on May the 23rd, at Temple Baptist Church, 630 Harpersville Road, we're going to celebrate the lives and the sacrifice that they gave. We have a teenager, a teenager who will be our guest speaker from one of our area high schools. Sarah has put together a phenomenal video. And we're going to talk a little bit and show a little bit about some of the issues in law enforcement today, some of the shortages, things that law enforcement officers have gone to. Lost an officer in Henrico County this year. The 2 officers that lost their life at the college active shooter situation. So it's a really good video, and we have a great speaker. We have Dr. Jensen is coming to be our speaker out of San Antonio, Texas. Dr. Jensen, surgeon in the Navy, and he actually was working that night in Norfolk where Katie was taken and treated her. And we talked to him that night. And a couple weeks after, he sent me an email. And he talked about what he saw that night, what he felt that night, what he saw from the number of police officers that poured into the hospital, what he saw from staff at the hospital, the nurses and the administrators there. And he made some comments to me and touched me. And I reached out to him, and He finally confirmed. I know he's a busy man. I can't imagine. And he is coming to be our guest speaker, and I am honored. It will be a very special ceremony on Monday. I hope and ask this community to come um, to pay our respect to those that have given the ultimate sacrifice to serve our community, to serve as citizens of this great city. Those individuals all made an impact, right? That a foundation that we continue to build on. And Katie was just very, very special. I remember her in my office. I remember when she got sworn in and handing her badge. I remember telling her that I was proud of her. And I remember her service. Her mother is fantastic. Her brothers. It's just a great family. So we do this out of respect. And I encourage and invite our family, our community, our department, sworn and civilian both to be there. And bring your family members. It's going to be a good, we're not going to hold you long, hour and 10 minutes. But it's a really touching service. So I invite our community to attend. And I will tell you, it sends a strong message to the men and women who are doing this job. It sends a strong message to the 2 classes of 25, 27 that are training to do this job, that this community appreciates them, that I appreciate them for the work that they do. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. And the other services, the other jurisdictions have been great. We did send a team up to DC to represent our department. They got to see the ceremony on the Capitol, and then of course the memorial and monument. Captain Spencer and his team, the Honor Guard, just do a phenomenal job, and I cannot be more impressed with what they do. Christine, unfortunately, the owners are supposed to completely understand. Yeah, Christine, it's okay. It's just we just have to work together to address those things. So no problem. But I do see, Nikki, thank you. I appreciate that. Robin, okay, take care, Robin. Please be safe. Councilman Scott, thank you so much, Chief, for providing this opportunity for the community to engage with you. We appreciate it. Well, Ms. Scott, thank you, and appreciate all the things that you do. Ms. Scott is one of our city councilmen in our North District. If you know anything about Denby, you know about Ms. Scott. She is a true advocate, but she also is a true friend. And when I say that, she asks a lot of hard questions. Chief, what's going on with this? Can you help me with that? Can you help explain this? Can you come to this meeting? Can your officers do that? And I appreciate that. That's how we hold each other accountable. And that's how we get the demand service and community-oriented service to our community. So I appreciate the ability to work with her, allowing her to me to be in this city, and I appreciate the open dialogue and friendship that we have. And when she brings concerns, or if it's to say thank you, or Chief, I'd like to see more of this, or why hasn't this happened? I enjoy those conversations. It's at the end of the day, we're all trying to make life better. So Ms. Scott, thank you for joining in today. So thank you. Rhea, are you just introducing yourself to the people on the chat? Is that what you're doing? You're telling people who you? Yes, everyone. Rhea is a young adult police commissioner, high school student, and yeah. Okay. I'll say this: if we want things to change, we have to help as a community. Wow, Nikki, thank you. That means a lot. Nikki, I'm going to use that quote. I'm going to use that on Monday. Is that? I hope you don't have a patent on that. I understand. Ms. Scott, question: if a neighbor knows that small children are being left home alone for amounts of time, can the police intervene to check the children? Asking for it? Yes, they absolutely can. We just call that. Sometimes this comes in as a welfare check. We get those sometimes. Elderly, if someone tried to call a family member or friend, they haven't seen them, or they called and no one answers, and the car's in the driveway. We have children before, so we would respond initially, and then we would work with the Child Protective Services, Ben Thomas Human Services, to get the right resources there to take it to the next level. How long has it happened? Is it something that, hey, it was just inadvertently, I was in the backyard and I just didn't hear the door, or I've been gone for hours and young kids are home by themselves. So it's all about service oriented, but absolutely citizens can call. And that's what I talk about, when getting involved. It's not ratting on anybody or snitching on anybody, whatever the term is today. and say, we're worried about 2 kids or kids that might be left alone, and let's go I would rather us check it out and they be okay, and then they're watching SpongeBob or whatever, right? And they're okay, as opposed to nobody calling and something was wrong. So no, I encourage that. I think that's extremely important. Absolutely, they can call. Scott, thank you so much. Your support in the community is unmatched. You again. Scott. Well, I appreciate that. I did get to come out and see some baseball and girls softball and t-ball, and there was I was going to another event actually, and I saw the kids playing ball, and I'm a big baseball fan. Basketball and football are good, they're cool, but I'm a big baseball fan. So in Cincinnati, Ohio, I'm telling you, you go and watch the Reds, and not so good this year. It's okay. But I'm a big baseball fan. So I saw these kids playing, and I stopped to get out and interact with them a little bit. And there was a t-ball game that was finishing up. So they allowed me to come up and hit. The team stayed in the field, and I hit a scorching ground ball back to the pitcher. And he ran over and threw the ball to first. Now, I don't know what training the umpires get. I think I was safe. I think I beat that throw out. I don't think his foot was on the bag. If we could slow that down, if I can get a copy of that video, I want to blow it up. I'm going to send it to New York, the baseball commissioner. I want him to look at that. I think I was safe. But I will tell you, I had a great time messing around with the kids and the girls softball. I got to meet some parents and coaches. So I just really enjoyed that. That was just Steve. I was going to another event. I had about an hour, and that was just me. And I enjoyed interacting and cutting up a little bit. Thank you. I appreciate that. I can see that you are sincere in your efforts and goals to create a family environment within the police department. If you are a family, you will police from the same mental space when serving the community. I support the police department and the type of leadership. Stephanie, thank you. I appreciate that. I do. Shout out to Newport News, North End Fire and Rescue Squad. They're awesome. Wait a minute. So we're doing a police live here. Chat with the chief, and you just shouted out to the fire department. Let me tell you, me and Chief Johnson go back and forth. So if Chief Johnson wants to come on here and do a Facebook Live session, I openly challenge him to. But you, Miss Alston, right? Am I reading that right? Kellyanne Alston have said shout out to the fire department. So I will pass that on to him, but I'll have to make something up and tease him a little bit. Chief Johnson and the fire department are great. We have a great partnership and friendship. So yeah, it's all in good fun. But I do want you to know, I tease them. It was they had 2 weeks ago at City Council EMS and Fire Appreciation Week, and I teased them. I walked in, there were like 11 firemen, right? 11 firemen, 1 police officer, and I walked in, and Chief Johnson said, "Look, what do you think? What do you think? 11 of us here today." I said, "Yeah, that's about right. A crisis, 11 firemen, 1 officer. That's about right. That's about right." But no, it's great, and they do a phenomenal job. Nikki, thank you. I appreciate that. Sharon, thank you. Miss Scott, thank you. Faith, will the service tomorrow be live streamed? So the service tomorrow.
It's sponsored.
Go ahead.
No, the service is on Monday.
Yeah. So the service tomorrow that I'm going to go to is in Suffolk. The service Thursday, I believe, is in Norfolk. Our service is on Monday, right? We done ours the last week, Monday the 23rd at 6:30, Temple Baptist Church, Harpersville Road. We will be streaming it through Facebook, I believe. Is that right?
Yes.
Am I getting that right, Lee? I want to say it wrong.
Yes.
We will be streaming it, but I will tell you this, Faith. I will tell you this. If you can be there, what goes on before and during that service, I'm going to interact with the crowd a little bit. You can be there. I would strongly encourage you to. It is a great event. As we pay our respect to those that gave the ultimate sacrifice, right? That gave their life for this community. And the other 472 of us that are willing to do that. None of us know what tomorrow holds. Yesterday, I was asked to be the guest speaker. Now, they were probably like, who are we going to get, right? The bottom of the barrel, right? We'll get Chief Drew. But I was honored anyway, right? I felt like, man, this is awesome. I was on the base of Langley Air Force Base for their police week. for their services there, security force services, and law enforcement as well. And I'll tell you, the colonel, great job. I got to hear the Air Force band, but I just delivered some remarks, and I talked to them just like they were officers that I'm responsible for. And we talked about service and commitment, um, trying to do the right thing, admitting when we make mistakes. But we also, we talked to base about the horrible tragedy that we just saw in Buffalo, New York, where 10 individuals just this past weekend lost their lives at a grocery store. And then there's the shooting at the Korean church, right, in California. And there's people going to the grocery and officers running into that. In fact, it was a retired police officer that engaged the 18-year-old suspect who lost his life. But that's what we do. None of us know what tomorrow holds. None of us know what is going to be on the other end of the next call we receive, what we're going to face when we walk through a door. And those things are they're hard. And I say that to say, and I address my comments to the soldiers in the squad, the platoon, that you're going to see things that I wish nobody ever had to see. You're going to respond to things that people should not have to see. And if you find yourself in a dark place or frustrated or depression, to talk to someone, right? We've seen some of the servicemen in our military that have committed suicide that we've seen talking about, even here local. And it's important that when we talk about that family atmosphere, it's also about looking out for each other. Those that may be going through things and seeing things. Because what we ask our military men and women do, what we ask our officers to do is to respond to the traffic fatalities and the sexual assaults and the domestic violence and the shootings or the homicide, God forbid, to go home, get a good night's sleep, and come back and do it again the next same day. And I would submit to you that that's not fair. I would submit to you that that's why 472 people do this job. It's hard. There's not a line out the front door that are willing to make that ultimate sacrifice for people they don't even know. That's why the people that come to work here in this city, in Newport News, I'm not comparing us to anybody, I'm talking about Newport News, sworn and civilian both, they are not just a number that come to work here. They matter to me. I know what they give up to work here. I know the things that they miss, birthdays and anniversaries and baseball games and recitals. I know the things that they respond to and the things that they see. And I know the dangers that they face. And that's why Monday the 23rd is so important. That's why how we treat each other is so important. That's why knowing ourselves, our heart and our mind, making sure that we're good to go is important. And this job's not for everyone. We'll talk about a little bit of it. It's not for everyone. But to run into a school, to run into a church, to respond to a grocery store in the middle of chaos and restore calm, not everybody's willing to do that. There are plenty of people who want to sit back and critique it. But there are very few that are going to accept that challenge and move forward. And I thanked those men and women in the military. I thank them for things that they will do in the future, things that they will see and keep going. And I told them, I don't know if anyone saw it, but I told them that we need them, that I need them. My family needs them just as much as anyone else. They could be anywhere in the United States. But I appreciate what they do, but to take care of themselves as well. I didn't mean to get on all that. I apologize. Roger said our youth have some answers. I'll tell you, Mr. Barnes, they absolutely do. I really enjoy engaging them in conversation. They look at things differently. They talk. They're certainly better with technology. I think I had one the other day help me set my phone up. Like, I didn't know we had an app that could do that. Oh yeah, Chief, it goes like this. But then no, they're great. Rhea, I got you. Yeah. Hey, how are you? What's going? Hey, I'm doing well. I'm excited. Things are going really good. Continue to move forward. We have some officers that are lateraling into this department, officers that have left to do other things, right? They didn't leave to go to other departments and coming back. They left to go do different things in life and want to come back here. So I'm excited. So we've got about 7 or 8 positions getting ready to go into the ranks. And then those 2 classes coming out. So I'm really looking forward to that. Stephanie, thank you. And that says I'm like I'm a comedian. I get it. You know, it's funny. Chief Grinstead tells me that all the time. He doesn't use the word hilarious, though. Mr. Jones. Oh, my gosh. Mr. Jones. I grew up in Cincinnati. I've been watching Pete Rose his whole career. Uh, I wish he didn't say some things he says, but his baseball talent, I agree. I agree. He's one of my favorite players. He and Johnny Bench, amazing. Um, wait, Nikki, I do have one question. Why do all the stores
So we close at
at
12?
12 close at LA? Well, Nikki, I can tell you why. Because there's large crowds there. And what happens is when those crowds leave, that they go to some of these other businesses and flood the businesses and just hang out. And some things can erupt there, right? So if they've had alcohol, or if they don't want to go home, or if there's any issues that spill over, that's why they close. Because the store owners in there can't absorb that many people coming in and just hanging out. And it's hard, and to send a police officer to a location where there may be 50 or 60 people that want to just hang in the parking lot, things can happen. It's all about safety. It's all about safety. So what they do is they shut down for about an hour, let the crowds dissipate, and then open up again. But that's one of the reasons. In my time in my past agency, there would be like a Waffle House or a gas station, and people would just go and hang out. So they would leave a club or a restaurant establishment, and you'd have 200 people in a parking lot. They weren't buying gas, they weren't buying food from Wawa. They're just hanging out. And somebody says something, or somebody, and you know, if you've been out, somebody looks at your girlfriend, somebody looks at your boyfriend, says something a different way, something about your car, bumps into someone, alcohol's involved, tempers, and then you get people get hurt. So that's why they close down and let people go on, and then they reopen. But that's the reason. I will be there. Good. I hope to see you, my friend. That would be fantastic. William, thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. There's enough love for all of our police servants in Newport. There's enough love for all of our. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. Chief, for president, oh my gosh. How about we just stay with police chief? Believe me, I got my hands full, and I struggle enough with that. Your city council is very good. You're correct, because they risk their lives in those. Yep. Oh yeah, Nikki, that's a great. Nikki, I tell you, you're locked in. That's why conversation is important. That's why conversation. Now, sometimes we don't do the best job of explaining things, and I think when you're able, instead of confrontation, if we're having conversations and being able to communicate, I think it makes a world of difference. Let's scroll down just a minute.
Yeah. I think we got caught up.
Oh, I'm a homebody. I hear you. Me too. I wanted to share with you. We had a meeting last week. It was a group from the governor's office that came down, the director of public safety, and we were going to meet with just 7 or 8 people. And they kind of gave me some ideas of who to invite. Police department, some individual from the community, someone from economic development, someone in juvenile justice. So we had a small group, but it kind of expanded. So we were going to meet in our community room, and then we had some politicians that showed up, senators, delegates, which is fine, right? DCJS showed up to meet with us, and the Attorney General's office. So it went from about 8 to 10 people to about 25 people, and we had a really good conversation. We started to talk about what can the state do to help the city of Newport News move forward, and then it morphed into really focusing on gun violence. What's working, what's not working, what are things we think might work if we had funding, and that was one of the things that our Vice Mayor, Dr. Cherry, talked about, is if we had funding for some of these programs. But we got a lot of feedback. Dr. Parker and Richard Wright from schools. Dr. Parker, our superintendent, and just all the great programs that they're doing in our high schools. We talked about the Young Police Commissioner program. Hal Smith was here from the Boys and Girls Club and talked about our partnerships and what we're doing and working together. Dr. Lyons was here from our community and just talking about how important it is to communicate and build relationships as we move forward. DCJS talked about programs they've had, and I'll tell you, it was just a great meeting. The Director of Public Safety was very interested, and they picked 5 or 6 cities to meet with. And it was just a really, really good meeting. I really appreciate them taking the time to select Newport News and come have a conversation with us. And there were some challenges there, and then there was some open dialogue. It was just really good. And I'd say he opened with a prayer, and I thought, man, what a great start. But he really enjoyed that conversation as we move forward. So Rhea has a question. Let me see if I got this, Rhea, who's supposed to be in history class. Why was there, let me just go back in time, so let me transform myself. Why was there a police officer in Killen Creek? They were doing construction work and the police were right in the middle of the road. So Rhea, we are mandated when we're doing construction that we have police there, whether it's state police, police department, or some type of agency that has lights on, and that we're in the area to direct traffic and make people aware. The short answer is it's all about safety. Now, history class. Don't be caught getting in trouble in school and, oh, I was talking to the chief, and your teacher called me like, Chief, we need to pay attention in history class. Congratulations to your family member who just got that master's degree. That was outstanding. Faith, thank you. I meant the one of the 23 I pray for, my son constantly who serves. Faith, thank you. I appreciate that. And it is important. And I will tell you, we talk about family concept. When I was at Langley Air Force Base yesterday at the service, Pastor Maxwell was the pastor there that opened in prayer. And I will tell you, Pastor Swan, and see, I never start. Pastor Swan, Pastor Maxwell, Pastor Riddick, Pastor Smells, I cannot tell you the number of pastors that reach out and chaplains that reach out and just say, Chief, we're praying. We're praying for your department. We're praying for your officers. We're praying for safety. We're praying for this community. I believe there's a lot of power in prayer. And for the faith community here, again, we have good conversations. We don't always agree, but we're trying to move in the right direction. And to be able to sit down, that's one of the things the Secretary of Public Safety said is he and Dr. Cherry kind of hit on it. That what is the best thing working in Newport News? And Dr. Cherry talked about that we are able to sit down and reason together and talk together and have a sense of together moving forward. We may have different ideas on how to get there, but that we're able to respect one another and we want to see the best for the city. And that, just think of the people in the room, right? Attorney General's office, Governor's office, DCJS, senators, delegates, police department, community members, school superintendent, economic development, juvenile justice, all talking about how do we do things better. And that's just a blessing. And I appreciate willing to take the time to do this every month. It has made a difference in my outlook on police officers. Yeah. Well, I appreciate that. I tell you, all the credit, let me be clear, all the credit goes to the men and women who do this job day in and day out. Those officers that work the midnight shift that just graduated the academy, those officers that have been in this for 10 or 15 years, officers are on day shift, the homicide detectives, the aggravated assault detectives, our special victims, which are our juvenile division, our domestic violence division, forensic technicians that work around the clock and respond to these scenes and process some pretty terrible scenes. Juvenile division, that special victims that work with kids and elderly, or missing children or missing people. Our dispatchers, right, to work around the clock and aren't able to physically touch or see what's going on, but are just doing it audio and sending messages back and forth to the police force. They deserve all the credit. When I started this session, I talked about being honored and humbled to work here. That's why. Because I work with men and women who are dedicated to do their best to make things better. Are we going to make mistakes along the way? Absolutely. You show me a human that's perfect. I don't know of any. Only one that I know of. So then you create an organization, police officers, dispatchers, civilian, that serves citizens. None of us are perfect. We're going to make mistakes. Now, we're held to a higher standard, and we should be. We accept that. And we continue to try to do better. But our intent is to serve the citizens of this community, to make Newport News a better place, to work, raise a family, to live, to have fun. I talked about the rain this weekend, but there were 5 or 6 events that still went on up at Port Warwick and family outings. The marathon 5K sponsored by the shipyard. Those things matter. And officers in the rain still responded and interacted and had a good time. And that is important. Victoria, how are you? Good to hear from you. I hope you're doing well. Mr. Barnes, I was wondering, because just about every session you post that word. I was wondering, I was like, where's he at today? I haven't seen the word community come out. I appreciate that. English, great, Rita. Thank you for correcting that. That's just great. Thank you. Anna, thank you for your chat and answering questions that citizens had. Now eat some eat some lunch. Keith, how you doing? Sorry I missed your. That's okay. I'll try 2 to 6. Hope you'll be up in Ashland. Yes, I do. I want to make sure we get up there again. You guys put on a great show in Ashland, and we kind of just put on things on display and look for individuals that might want to join the police department. I think that's fantastic. Do you have programs for veterans looking to get into civilian law enforcement? I will tell you, Victoria, as far as veterans, we have a volunteer program. We have a Citizens Academy. We have a CPAAA Academy, which is individuals who've gone through the Citizens Academy and still hang out together, still meet and come together. I think we're giving a scholarship away actually this week, so I'll be attending that. But I don't have a program for, and I'm not really sure, Victoria. I don't have a program where veterans come in and work in the police department. We do have a volunteer. I'm not sure what you're exactly asking. Wow. Perfection is a goal, not a destination. Mr. Barnes, I may use that Monday. I may use that. That's a great quote. Perfection is a goal, not a destination. Wow, I like that. I have all the. Nikki, you're killing me. You're killing me. What are some of the best ways to prepare for the heroic things the new recruit may go through coming to the? It's a great question. So you are going to see things. You're going to see things, and you're going to respond to them, and you're going to have to stay in post while those are investigated in crime scene. I will tell you, I think it's to be grounded, to have a good outlet. What you don't want to do is turn to alcohol or destructive living. Whether it's working out, running, reading, faith-based, your family, but to be grounded and to talk about if you see something that bothers you. So some individuals can go to a traffic accident or fatality and be able to handle that and work through it. But you put that same individual where there's a child has been a victim and they have children themselves, that's hard. Or if someone has been around or seen domestic abuse and they go to a domestic violence call and they see it, that can be hard. So I think it's to be grounded. And if you need to step back, then do it, right? And be able, I try to create an atmosphere in this organization that people can talk about things. I don't expect you to come in. Look, if you came in and could go to every scene that you're not affected by some of the things that people will do to other people, I'm not sure this is the right field for you. And those things, science will tell us that they're all in our head. We can suppress them and keep them under control, but they're here. We don't just, they're not gone. They're here. And they'll find, if there's no outlet, they'll find a way. So I think it's important to have some type of outlet, but also remember this, and this is one of the things that we really talk about in the academy. Never, ever, ever allow the ills of you see. Me and Mr. Barnes were talking about it earlier. Never, ever allow all the things that you see. Oh my gosh, society is just falling apart. It is about 5% that cause the crime and harm to a community. And you'll find that through studies around the country. But here, about 5%. Never, ever, ever label people or neighborhoods or communities based on that. It is the individual that decided to pick up a firearm, not the community. It is the individual who broke into a house, not the community. It is the individual who assaulted his wife or her husband, not the community. So never ever paint that brush that it's, this is just, nothing good happens here. It's not. Look at the individual. Look at the individual action and respond to that. And do your best to make a difference. I challenge every recruit class that graduates. You'll hear it in August when they graduate. You'll hear it in October when the other class. I ask them for one favor. There's things that they're mandated, but I ask them one favor to me, to the chief, to have a positive interaction with the youth. At least one every day they come to work. I don't care if it's 30 minutes. I don't care if it's 20. I don't care if it's 5 minutes. I don't care if it's at a bus stop. Just telling some kids to have a good day. I promise you that will make a difference in your career. I've been doing this almost 30 years. You will not remember in this profession, it's not the number of guns you seize, the drug arrests that you make, the traffic tickets you write. Those things have a place. But when you retire, when you decide to walk away from this profession, what you will remember and what matters are the individuals and the people that you helped along the way. People that you worked with, people that I'm able to give the experience and share with, but also citizens and community members who you helped, that when they dialed 911, they were going through a critical time in their life. They've had a car accident. Their grandmother has wandered off Alzheimer's or dementia, that they can't get to their son or their daughter, that there's been a fire, there's been a violent crime, there's been a critical incident, and you're able to respond and add them a little bit of peace. And what I'm asking this department to do is add a little bit of heart to that situation. That's what people will remember, and that is what makes this job so rewarding. It is demanding, don't get me wrong, but it is also extremely, extremely rewarding. No, it ain't no regular, Keith. Don't get it wrong, my friend. It's all diet, right? When I was 21, it was regular. With my gun belt now and my weight, it has to be diet. Did you hear anything, Chief, about a woman in Hampton about 2 days ago that tried to? I don't think so, Nikki. I don't think so. Are we caught up?
Yep, that's it.
So listen, I've been a little bit over. I apologize. I have enjoyed. I enjoy talking. You know, when we first started this, I was like, people are not going to call in and write in to a screen, right? I'm used to a community meeting where we sit down together and have interaction. But this has been very beneficial. They've won me over. Our media relations team has won me over. I do want to reiterate, 6:30 Monday, the 23rd. That's our memorial service at Temple Baptist Church, Harpersville Road. We have a fantastic speaker. We've got a fantastic young man that's going to deliver some words. But it's where we pay our respect. And I'm looking to meet a new friend that I talked to, his grandmother, on the phone today. Our data portal is back open, so those crime numbers are finally back up. I got a few calls about, Chief, where are they at? Where are they at? We're not trying to hide them. We're just going to get one system to talk to the other. You know, if you asked me to fix it, I'd be like, well, can we put some duct tape here and there and tie it together, right? But I guess, so anyway, that's back up to that. But I appreciate all of you that took time today to share with me. Look, it's important. My friend, I see a post here from Greg Hopkins. We kind of came up together. He's up there at the state, making sure that DCGS is doing the right thing. But Greg has helped us out tremendously with managing some of the obstacles that law enforcement has gone through in this state for the last couple of years. Here's some advice. Here's some discussion. Here's some ideas. Here's some grants that are available. How can I help you? And we did a survey here that we're going to be seeing the results pretty quickly to talk about what citizens believe are some of the underlying issues to gun violence and what we can do better and how we can interrupt that at an earlier age or earlier situation. So it's not too many firearms on the street and too many firearms in the hands of individuals who want to hurt or harm other people that don't know how to deconflict, right? And it's harder today. I get it. Greg and I used to talk a lot about if we were in school and we had a problem with someone, there might be some pushing or words back and forth. It was over. Today it's out there in social media and it hovers around for months and people bring it back up and the peer pressure, they don't. And I think it is harder for kids today. Right, Rhea? It is harder for kids today. So what can we do to teach conflict resolution? It's okay to walk away, that words are words, right? That we walk away. It's not worth it. And the individuals that take part in violent crime and violent acts, I'm telling you, it doesn't end well. The hurt that you cause a family or the hurt that you may cause your own family, being incarcerated, or God forbid, being sent away, it is not worth it. If someone doesn't like you, so what? Go on and do better, right? Let them be jealous of you if they choose to be. If they want to feel that anger and frustration or jealousy, whatever it is, then let them. But don't let them dissuade who you are and your ability to succeed and be successful. You matter. Don't do something stupid in a fit of anger that's going to cost you the rest of your life and hurt your family. So Greg, I appreciate you being here, man. I appreciate your friendship and your professional relationship as we move forward. Sharon, Ms. Scott, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Hope to see you Saturday at International Day. Absolutely. I look forward to it. Thank you, Nikki. I appreciate that. So I'm going to sign off here. Maybe grab a little bit of lunch like Ms. Whalen told me to do, and we'll be back at 6 o'clock. I just appreciate scroll down for me. I just appreciate all those that took time and spent with me. It means a lot. I do not take this position lightly, and I appreciate the investment that you make in us and allow us to make in you. God bless you. Be safe. We'll do this again. Julie, thanks for helping me out today. Keep me out of trouble, and we'll do this again tonight. Take care.